What is going on? What is going on? It's your boy Julien Stoutt, licensed personal trainer, licensed PE teacher, world record powerlifter, special education teacher, here to take the fear out of fitness. Guys, we're about to take off and class is in session. Shout out to my Stoutsiders who are watching. Shout out to everybody that is doing their thing for Turkey Day next week. I'm excited myself. I got one more day of hard work to go, and then I am on my break. And whew, it's been rough. But your boy is ready. Your boy is poised and ready to go. Excited for what is to come, because I'm ready. But without any more laboring, listen, I may not have been some premier football player, okay? I wasn't. I mean, I'm fast, I'm agile, actually tried out for a semi-pro team, didn't quite make the cut because I was about 135 pounds at the time. I'd probably barely make it at my current weight now, even though I wouldn't make it because I'm a little on the older side. But here's what I'm getting at. I've been around football a long time, all right? And a little bit more intimately over the last 20 years. I have been on the field, covering the game in multitude of fashions, mainly as an athletic trainer, which is where my degree background is in. So I have gotten to see the hard work and dedication that football players go through on a day-to-day basis, whether it be their weight room lifting, whether it be their rehabilitation when they're injured, whether it be what they do on the field. I've been a part of it for the better part of 20 years now. And I don't just go by what, to quote Stephen A. Smith, as a matter of fact, just to full disclosure, I know a lot of y'all ain't fans of Stephen A. Smith, but as a broadcaster, I'm a fan of his. I just am, because personality-wise, he's got it. He's just got it, you know? But, because, he does the, and then, and all of that stuff, and the Cowboys thing is just my jam. As long as he's alive, and as long as the Cowboys are terrible, I live for that pan shot. I live for that pan shot with him with the cigar in his mouth and the cowboy hat on, and then he was busting the laughter. I'm just a fan of it, right? But I am a fan of Stephen A. Smith. But the thing is that, to quote Stephen A. Smith on his show First Take, he says this: I don't know because I'm the smartest man on the planet, but because I listen to people who know better than me. I have a colleague who played in the NFL. Okay? We talk all the time about football. And he'll tell you, I'm no slouch. I'm no dummy when it comes to the game of football. I may not be as intricately, irrevocably knowledgeable than he is. I'm not going to go there because that's coaching. He's a coach for football. I coach on the level of bringing your abilities up, meaning your ability to move faster, your strength, your conditioning. That's me. That's what I do. And I also help you improve your capabilities after an injury. That's my skill set. That's what I do. But I have to know the game to some capacity in order to improve my athlete to be able to get on the field and perform at a high level when they get on the field. So the little technical stuff like don't turn your body until you know the timing is where it's supposed to be, and if you feel like there's some sort of pressure on the quarterback, or if you see that there might be pressure coming out of your peripheral, you do A, B, and C. The throw is coming on your back shoulder. Make sure that you're positioned properly to cut the defender off from intercepting the pass when you're making your move, unless the ball was errantly thrown. Things like that. I hear these things in coaching. I hear them in bad timing. I hear it in bad decision making. I don't know the intricate levels of that, but I do know my football. And what I would tell you is, before I go into any massive analysis of my position about Shaduer Sanders is really good, I'm telling you, when I break this down for you, you're going to see what it is that I see. So that way you understand that I'm not fanning over Shaduer Sanders. Because let me tell you something. I have no stake in Shaduer Sanders' success. I don't. I really don't. So, but at the same time, when I saw what he did in Colorado, I know he wasn't a world beater, but he was very competent. He took an inept football team and made them relevant. I didn't say he made them a contender for the title, but he made them relevant. And I'm sorry that takes an immense amount of talent to do that. Period. Regardless of whether you believe Travis Hunter was the difference maker or not, he was. We're not going to pretend like he wasn't. Travis Hunter was a difference maker in that. However, what that shows you is that if he has talented people around him, he can get the job done. Right? And that should be the notion of any quarterback. When I measure a quarterback, let me tell you how I measure a quarterback. I measure a quarterback based on how much time they have to throw the football, what decisions they make under duress, how well they throw the football, meaning how hard and far they can throw the football, and how accurate can they throw the football. Those are the 4 things that I measure a quarterback on. Everything else, that makes you, anything else is added icing on the cake. It's not necessarily perfect. It doesn't, so like Michael Vick's speed was an additive. If he were to pay attention on the field and know how to conduct himself on the field in his Atlanta days, I think Michael Vick would have been a world champion. He was unstoppable, right? It's a little bit harder to be that level of unstoppable like Michael Vick was, like Lamar Jackson is. Even within his unstoppability, they lose. If he was so unstoppable, he would never lose, right? But you can only hope to contain him. You can't stop him, right? So what I'm going to show you is the full half of all of Shaduer Sanders' plays. And I am going to tally exactly how many bad throws did he make. Okay? I'm going to tally it, how many bad throws he made. Bad throws. And not his fault. Okay? So, with that being said, I'm going to spam that about right there so that way we can go through it together. All right? Here we go.
From Baltimore, you might want to attack him very early in this down situation. Throwing on first down and
catch. So that's his first. So that's one of the 4 catches that were made in the game, right? So he made a completion, right? That's his first completion.
He's got a completion immediately to Cedric Tillman. How deep do you want to go with your drop back game, trying to push it downfield?
Second down and 15. Sanders over the middle is another completion. That's the first catch today for David Njoku.
So that's 2
a gain of 8.
out of
It
4.
brings up
We
third
already
down.
know that's half the throws he made that were good. So we're going to have a slew of bad throws, right?
Pressure coming off the edge.
So check this out, right here. Offensive line is cooked. Right? Offensive line is cooked. He's running for his life. Let's go.
Sanders in trouble.
Sacked. So, of the 16 plays he made, well, throws he actually made, here goes one where it's not his fault. So let's put 1. And let's put sack.
He is dropped. Ball came out late. It was Kyle Hamilton who has the sack. He's ready for it. We are maniacs about development as Sanders.
That looked like a good pass to me. Let's go back to that.
Maniacs about development.
So now, look at the position. What he saw, yeah, he could have thrown it down here at the bottom, right here. He could have definitely thrown it around here. But my man up here is open. Well, at least it looked like he was open, right?
And as Sanders,
and now the ball gets broken up. He threw it low so that he threw it low and away so that only his receiver could catch it. However, receiver didn't go get it, and it got broken up. All right? So that's technically not a bad throw. But I wouldn't consider it a not his fault, but it wasn't a bad throw. But let me put it in not his fault category for a reason. 2, broken up. So it was an accurate throw. 2, broken up. Let's get back to it.
Pass broken up by Awuzie.
And it's for opportunities like this for Shaduer Sanders, where you got so many reps throughout the course of the season and practice that now you get a chance to go out there and execute.
Third down and 10. Sanders takes a big hit.
That's an errant throw. That wasn't an errant throw in the sense that it was a bad throw because he was getting hit, right? However, I see where he was trying to throw it. If he didn't get bum rush, meaning if his offensive line protected him for 1 more second, that pass would have been straight up, right? So 3, interception. Hit as he throws. Okay.
And he's picked off. Intercepted on the play by Nate Wiggins. Sanders needs some help getting up as Wiggins has his 3rd pick of the year. Back out on the field. Sanders rolling right, throws almost intercepted again.
Now that's a bad pass. Bad throw right there. Number 1, bad throw. To middle linebacker. Or I just say to linebacker. Because I can't tell where he was on the play. But anyway. So that's a bad throw. That was the first bad throw.
He threw it right to Kyle Hamilton.
Keep an eye on these tight ends now. Fannin 44, Njoku 85.
Sanders rolling right. Now coming back the other way, steps up, and he's got the first down. Shaduer Sanders moving the chains for the Browns.
It's hard in 3rd and long against this Baltimore.
And by the way, I'm only grading his throws. I'm not even grading whether he ran for his life in the sense where he ran and got a first down or he ran for positive yards. I'm only counting his throws. Let's go.
Defense.
Sanders, pressure's coming, spins away,
and
but can't
sacked.
get away a second time.
Okay. Sack. Number 4. Not his fault. Okay. That's 2 sacks. Keep going.
Shaduer is buried on third down. Keon Martin with the sack. A loss of 14 yards.
4 or 5 yards downfield to help Judkins get downfield himself.
Sanders standing in the pocket way too long.
His fault. Took too long. Sack. Took too long. That ball should have been out of his hands already.
And throws it away.
And it forces Shaduer Sanders to have to figure it out post-snap.
Third down and 12. Sanders steps up.
Running for his life.
Nobody there. He'll just run it, and he runs out of bounds. Few yards shy of a first down. 17 snaps today for Sanders as he's looking to go to the air on first down. Locates Judkins, who lost.
Bad throw. They knew the play. They knew something was going on. But I'll count that as a bad throw. Loss of yardage. Loss of yards, right? So that's 3 bad throws so far, right? Loss of yards, 3 bad throws so far.
The football, Wyatt Teller falls on it, and they're saying it was incomplete. Second down and 10. Sanders fires, incomplete.
Did he miss that?
Second down and 10. Sanders fires.
I'll count that as a bad throw. 4, bad throw. It was accurate, but it was still a bad throw.
Incomplete. Looking for Fannin, who was looking for a penalty marker. It was Kyle Hamilton who had the coverage for Baltimore, and now it's third down and long.
Jumbotron as well.
Let's see what the call is on third and long. Do you just want to get out of here, or are you giving him a chance?
Sanders just throws it away, and out comes the flag.
Offensive line, but still his fault. Sacked. So this is 5. Sacked. Intentional grounding. IG. All right. We'll count that too.
There's no one out there.
It was Trenton Simpson applying the pressure, and this is going to be grounding against Cleveland. From the 35-yard line, Sanders on first down. Njoku is wide open. Instead, he goes deep to Fannin.
Completion number 3.
Big play, Shaduer Sanders to Harold.
Now I want y'all to see something though. Let's go back.
Njoku is wide open. Instead, he goes deep. And applying the pressure, and this is going to be grounding against Cleveland. From the 35-yard line, Sanders on first down. Njoku is wide open. Instead, he goes deep to Fannin. Big play, Shaduer.
Clean pocket, makes a good throw. Almost got fumbled from behind, but he had enough time to let the ball go. Wasn't under duress, stood in the pocket, made the throw. That's what you're measuring. Now, if you got a quarterback who can't make that throw in the pocket, unblemished, that's when you got to be concerned, right? And now, again, I want to make sure you understand this. So far, this man has been sacked once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and hit as he throws. So that's 6 times so far that this man has been under duress. And yet, when the pocket was still closing in on him, he didn't flutter, he didn't flinch, he didn't shudder. He actually made the throw. Stood tall and made the throw. Let's go.
Sanders to Harold Fannin, a gain of 25.
And see if he wants to bring extra people right here, right now.
Sanders throws, low throw.
Not his fault, dropped.
Incomplete. Was looking for Jerry Jeudy, and Awuzie had the coverage for Baltimore. 2nd down and 10. Here comes the blitz. Sanders throws, and it's incomplete. It was the rookie Malachi Starks coming untouched, and now it's 3rd down and long.
Wide receivers never see the pressure, though.
3rd down and 10. Sanders comes back the other way. Judy's open, and Jeudy breaks his 3 tackles, and he's got the 1st down.
That's his 4th pass, so everything else is going to be nothing now.
Line.
So on blitz.
Drop 2 out.
Sanders steps up, he's going to run. Shaduer to the 25-yard line. Jerome Ford, the running back, at the top of your screen. Sanders, pressure coming, spins away, keeps it alive, throwing to the end zone, and it's incomplete.
His fault.
He had a man down there. Isaiah Bond was in the back of the end zone. 3rd and 5. Pressure's coming. Sanders looking for the end zone, and it is incomplete.
Not his fault. 7 dropped.
Nearly caught by Larvidan.
Pass interference.
Pressure's coming. Sanders fires, and it's broken up by Roquan Smith. And this one will come to an end. And Roquan fires, and it's broken up by Roquan Smith. And this one will...
I want to see that one.
Fire.
Honestly, I call that a PTI. A PI. He is all over him. That ball ain't even close to him yet. Yep. I call that a PI. So, for those of y'all at home, I counted all the throws. I never counted his runs, even though his runs were pretty good. I got 8 not his fault. 8 not his fault. So, 1, offensive line was totally trash on that play, the first one. He got sacked. 2, wasn't his fault. It got broken up, but it was an accurate throw and a good read. It was better defensive play. So I'm just saying it's not his fault. I'm not making it sound like nothing good. The defense had nothing to do with it. What I'm saying is that was better defense than his offense. He threw it to one of the right players. He had 2 choices. He threw it to the one that was open. This is where he was at. And that's based on, and we'll get to, actually, you know what? I'm going to wait. Number 3, interception hit as he throws. He wasn't throwing where it ended up. He got hit as he threw. Ball sailed on him, ended up in the hands of the opposing team, which is the Ravens, right? 4, sack. Got sacked again. Got ran roughshod, right? 5, drop pass. 6, drop pass. 7, drop pass. 8, pass interference, technically a drop pass. So we counted 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 drop passes, right? Out of 16. So out of 16 throws, 8 of them, or attempted throws, right? But out of the actual 8 throws that he took, that out of 16 throws, he made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He made 6 bad throws out of 16. That means, all things considered, he'd be 10 for 16. And if he would have been 10 for 16, if he had been 10 for 16, we would have been talking about how great of a game Shaduer Sanders played. Right? Because if I do my math correctly, that's multiplied by 5. You're over 50, 54, 55%, which is just below average for a NFL quarterback right now. Just below. But there's more. Right? If you were basing this off of just the debut of a quarterback who is running in a NFL system, in a competent NFL system, you would say that his start was mediocre. And I would actually be willing to agree with you if this was a competent NFL football team that he was playing under at this point in time. Okay? So now I'm going to not share my screen because out of copyright issues, I don't want to have those issues. But what I want you to do is listen.
Putting in great work, and on the field, in the meeting, he will be better with reps that he's getting, like any player would be better. But we trust him, and he's somebody that's continued to put in the work and will continue to do so.
All right. We've now had a few days of this whole Sunday situation marinate. Putting in the work, that is good to hear. But Jeff, I'll go to you first. What do you make of the whole handling of Shaduer Sanders, the way he looked?
So before he even gets into it, he is handling the reps. He's doing his job, this, that, the other. Now, I want you to understand what that sounds like to me. It sounds like to me that prior to this, he wasn't doing his job. Prior to this, he was just there. Just existing in the Browns organization, floating and doing whatever, right? That's that. But there's details that some of you do not know and do not have that is going to make you understand why I'm saying Shaduer is really good. I didn't say he's great. I said he's good. Really good. Okay? And that's what we all thought he was to begin with. Is really good. But
it's malpractice to expect any different than what you saw out of Shaduer Sanders. Like I don't understand what the expectations people had. This is an organization that had Flacco and Pickett at the beginning of the season. Then they drafted 2 rookies in the 3rd and 5th round, I believe, right? They bring these kids in. They get rid of Pickett, trade him up. Then they trade Flacco 4 or 5 games in the season. Go to Dylan Gabriel, and then unfortunately with the injury, now Shaduer gets thrown in. If you understood, let me just put this in perspective. The offensive line that he played behind, where Baltimore decided when he got in, we're going to blitz the house, did not know, had never heard his snap count. Never heard his snap count. Yo, that's how the play starts. So if you've never heard this, if you think tempo, timing, all the things that you have to get from a quarterback's perspective to even be effective would have been, to think that Shaduer Sanders will go out there and shine, you're lying to yourself. Like, this isn't a fair comparison to see this is what kind of quarterback this kid could potentially be. And I don't care who you are. Like, did he throw bad balls? Sure. Did Baltimore just bring the house? Did anybody protect? No. He was under duress. Did he make bad decisions? Sure. So did Patrick Mahomes when he was getting blitzed in by the Denver Broncos. And he's the best QB in our game. Like, give me a break if you think you had expectations that Shaduer would look any different than what he looked like in the other day. Now,
So I'm going to pause it right there. So, you heard it yourself. The man never took reps with the team that he was on the field with in the middle of a game with the Baltimore Ravens, the team that 2 years ago made it to the AFC Championship. The team last year that only lost to Josh Allen. The team that is known for having a rugged defense. You never heard the man's snap count at all. You mean to tell me that that's how you operating? You've never heard the man's snap count? I guarantee you, the semi-pro football team that I was helping out over the summer this year heard my snap count once, and I don't play for them. I'm going to repeat myself. They heard my snap count, and I don't play for them. I'm the strength and conditioning coach. And they know my snap count. Make that make sense. And that's a semi-pro team. And they heard my snap count once. Actually, more than once. Because I have to turn around and get them to operate. And long story short, I'm doing things with them, right? To get them conditioned for the game. They know my snap count. And I'm not a quarterback. Never played quarterback. Don't have the arm to play quarterback. I will tell you that right now. Don't have that arm. These legs work, but that arm, no. And I'm here to tell you, they heard my snap count. How in God's green earth can you tell me an NFL football team has a quarterback on their roster that's never heard their snap count before on the first team? I guarantee if that second string team was in there, they would have known how to handle him. He never took reps with the first squad. That means speed, timing, all of that stuff. It is out of the window because I don't know how fast you are. Not on the field. I've seen you in practice. I've watched you in practice, but in the experience of picking up the football, dropping back, and throwing it, I have never experienced how fast you can get from point A to point B. I'm going based off of pure experience. That's it. Note that.
He threw one down, I think it was a middle dig or yeah, that's a great ball. Great ball. He threw another good ball. Like, so he had some things that I would go, hey, this is what we're going to build on. But if you think any quarterback, a rookie quarterback, is going to go in without protection and go make this thing happen, you're lying to yourself. Like, you hope in 3 practices, which he'll get, by the way, y'all, 120 plays top. You'll get 40 walk into this game. So you're hoping they shrink the offense down somewhat, give him some things that he knows what to deal with, get the offense better rhythm, figure this thing out. But, man, like, I think we do a disservice to our quarterbacks. The guy didn't even take these reps in training camp. So to think that he's going to get them in the season, you watch.
He didn't get reps in training camp. He's getting reps for the first time in the game. You stuck a second string quarterback in a game and never took snaps at all with the first team. Let me tell you how bad that is. And I'm talking from, again, my experience. I have been at the high school level, the college level, and the semi-pro level with this, okay? Football. I'm talking about football. High school, semi-pro, college level. Division II college, but still college. And let me tell you, I have never not seen the second string quarterback not take snaps with the first team at all. They may not get the bulk of them. They may get like 4 to 6 snaps, max 6, with the first team, while off on the other side. So what happens is there'll be 2 sets of practices going on. You're practicing, the second string is practicing with the second team. The first string is practicing with the first team, right? Then at some point in time during practice, there are specific plays that the coach wants everybody to know. So while the second string is working with the second string on those plays, they rotate. And then the second string plays with the first team for about 4 to 6 reps. Max per play that they practice. They may practice 5 to 6, maybe 7 or 8 plays multiple times to get the feel. So what will happen is QB1 for this play, they're practicing that play with this defense 3 or 4 times in a row, right? In comes the second string, gets 2 snaps, done. Move back, get up out of here, sit down. Then rinse, wash, and repeat. So you'll get 20 plays. Total, you get 20 to 26, 27 plays in a practice to practice specifically plays where the quarterback is getting their reps. Then they have plays for running plays. So a total of maybe 35 plays are being ran for the game. For the practice. Now, again, has not seen first string until he got to Baltimore in the second half. And you mean to tell me you think that you could grade Shaduer Sanders on his performance based on that? Shoot, I don't even care what he does with the Raiders. If he could play spectacular, I'm still not measuring him based on that. You want to know when I'm going to measure him? I'm going to really officially measure him in the sense where I can call it out for what it is. But based on what I know and what I've seen so far, I think he's really good. I'm putting myself out there on the line to say that he is really good. Is he a world beater? No, but he's really good. I think, honestly, he's practically on Jalen Hurts' level. I think him and Jalen Hurts are the same quarterback. Jalen Hurts is a really good quarterback. He's not the greatest. He's a really good quarterback. It's just the reality, right? But, and that's coming from a Giants fan, so you know I'm throwing up in my mouth by saying that. But I call it how I see it. We New Yorkers call it how we see it. We don't sugarcoat it. We don't lie. We tell the truth and we call it what it is. And if we got a good one, we got a good one. If you got a good one, you got a good one. If we got trash, we got trash. If you got trash, oh, we gonna tell you got trash. All right? But with that being said, you mean to tell me that this is what we doing? That's how we playing it? Okay. Don't believe Jeff Saturday, who played with Peyton Manning. And Aaron Rodgers. Don't listen to Jeff Saturday. He don't know nothing about football. He's a moron. He's an idiot. Hopefully you know I'm being facetious. However, I'm going to let this coach do it for you.
Coach, I want to know how you feel. What did you see from Shador? Thank you.
Yeah. First of all, I'm not in the excuse business. I don't want to hear anybody say he didn't get any reps. They don't know the snap count. That's pro football. That's the way it's got to be. Something. That's just the way it is.
This is Jay Gruden talking.
This isn't Rudy. We're not going to carry off on our shoulders. All right, you got to go out and perform. I don't think Shaduer. I don't think Dion. They don't want your excuses for their kids. They don't need them. Yeah. That being said, he had 3 really bad plays out of the whole game, and not really bad. The first one was on a naked pin where he didn't stretch the defense. He threw it right now, and Kyle Hamilton almost picked it. Mm-hmm. Remember that? That was a bad play. That's easily coached. You got to get more.
That's that middle. That's that throw in the middle.
Your low cross. Get to the late down flat late. Late. Go late down flat for leaders. We get to it late. Do it too early. Next one's on the pick. He had pressure on his face. We'll talk about pressure later on. He should have taken the immediate quick out in the flat instead of trying to push it to Jerry Jeudy. I saw what he saw. The corner had his shoulders open. He thought Jeudy would cross face. Jerry fell down or did something. It was terrible right down. Sat down. I don't know what the hell he was doing. That's an honest mistake. But however, if you're coaching a quarterback and say it's 3rd down and 10, you don't have to force it to the deeper throw all the time. Let your receivers underneath take a play, get the first down.
Yeah.
And then the last one was 3rd and 10 at the end of the game. They had an out route and a go route. Jerry Judy's wide open on the out route. He tried to throw the go ball to Lavardian, Gabe Lavardian. He's 5'8". You got to know your matchup, right? We're not going to throw a go ball to a 5'8" receiver. He's probably throw it to him and scout team, and that's his boy. Let's give him a shot. Take the out route. Let's move the chain.
But the accuracy of the ball good, though.
That was a good ball. Good ball. But we're not throwing it to Gabe Lavardian on 3rd and 10 with the game on the line. All right, let's throw the out route for the completion and move the chain. All right, that's 3.
Why was Gage Laverdan in the game to start with? That's like we couldn't.
Let's not throw the ball
undrafted rookie. Okay?
But still, it was a
he
good
could
ball.
check on Wednesdays too. So
right.
Yeah,
I got.
he's in the league. He's in the NFL.
That being said, that's only 3. He was in 3rd and 8 to 10, at least 8 times. That's not good for a young quarterback. The pass protection was awful. He had no chance on 85% of the play. He had no chance. He had a good scramble for a first down. He had another good scramble. He did some good things. The second play of the game where he threw the check over the ball for a gain of 8, they ran the same exact. This is why reps matter. Ran the same exact play later on with a dagger and a post over the top. He rips the dagger for a gain of 22 yards. He did. You know what I mean? Yeah. Same exact play. You can watch how repetition. Okay, I got the same play. I could have maybe pushed the dagger. You're looking at the tape. Let's call it again. If they suck up a little bit, I'll throw the dagger. That's what he did. There's a lot of good that he did. I think the poise, I think he looked good. You got to do a little bit better with ball security. The pocket pressure comes. He's got the ball hanging down too low. He's going to get that ripped out of there pretty soon. But only have 3 bad plays in the situations that he was forced to play in. The 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10. The running game, they run a weak Charlie, and they're not blocking anybody, so they're 2nd and 10. First drive, they got a holding call. They're in 2nd and 18, 3rd and 10. It's a very tough situation. Not very many good quarterbacks. The experienced quarterbacks that play 30 years would have succeeded in those situations with those looks and that pressure on him in that game. Joe Montana could have come out of retirement and had no chance with what he was given in that game. So I am encouraged. I think sometimes it's good to get your feet wet. Now the team's going to get to know him. They can hopefully game plan for him. It's still going to be hard, though. The blueprint's out there. He doesn't run very good. They're going to blitz him. They're going to get after him. They see that offensive line. There's a lot of weakness. Conklin's got a bad ankle. Cam Robinson's got a bad foot. Whatever it is, those guys are hurt. They got to do a good job of calm plays and get Junkins in. And Junkins, he got to learn how to pass. My God, he got to run through. So they got a lot of issues offensively. It's going to be very important to try to get them outside the pocket a little bit, get the running game going, get some quick game going. But the problem is a receiver They tried to run a quick game. They ran 200 jet Omaha, which we call all the time little out route two stick, right? The DBs didn't even back up. They didn't even back up. That's right. Yeah. And so that's scary. Nothing over there. If you have no quick game, the DBs aren't backing up. It's going to be harder. You have to push the ball down the field with back them up. I just think that there's a lot of narrative on this kid. He's came in there in a really, really tough situation. You know about the reps, but that's what backup quarterbacks are forced to do. Hell, we had to play with Josh Johnson one year. He came in on a Wednesday, started on a Sunday. It happens.
So, you're hearing Jay Gruden himself. Part of the whole Gruden crew of coaching, you know, everybody thinks his brother John is better, but he's a former NFL coach. And he's telling you the situation Shaduer Sanders found himself in was diabolical. No protection. They only heard his snap count for the first time in Baltimore. Come on, man. Come on. Let's be for real. Come on, man. You throw me into, you didn't teach me how to be a teacher. You threw me into a classroom day one. No preparation, no nothing. All I've been doing is teaching a simulated classroom for the last 6 weeks. Then all of a sudden I get into the real classroom where anybody could be doing anything and it's unpredictable and I don't know how to control my class. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. That is what Shaduer Sanders walked into. A shite sandwich. That's what he walked into. And he still managed to complete 4 passes. Didn't even throw anybody under the bus. He said, I didn't play well. I'm sorry. All jokes aside, nobody would have played well. Just like Jeff Saturday said, Patrick Mahomes wouldn't have played well in that system. He wouldn't have. In that situation, he wouldn't have. Now, if you're telling me Patrick Mahomes got reps and Patrick Mahomes has been practicing with the first team at least 2 or 3 times per, run, now we're talking. I remember vividly when Patrick Mahomes finally was the official starter for the Chiefs. Your boy, Travis Kelce, got on First Take and was literally trying to let you know that man is coming. That man is going to be a problem. He straight up was like, you want to know who's going to be a problem? Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, I know he's my quarterback, but I'm telling you, he's going to be a problem. And what was he? I'm sorry, 6 straight AFC championships, 6 straight trips to the Super Bowl, won 3 of them. Lost to the Eagles, lost to the Buccaneers, and lost to the Patriots. Six straight AFC championships, and been to the Super Bowl almost as many times. And lost to the Bengals. That's the other one. I mean, what you want him to do? And if I'm telling you Patrick Mahomes wouldn't have made it in that Browns game in the Browns uniform, nobody is. Josh Allen ain't going to do it. Lamar Jackson might have made some magic on one of the 2 of those runs that Shaduer made because he's that dynamic. But outside of that, you really think Lamar Jackson would have made better under those situations where they don't know his snap count, they don't know the protection scheme for him, they don't know how to protect for him, they're getting blitzed, where 3 men broke through within a second of the football being hiked? Come on, let's be for real. So for those of y'all who are coming out of your face, talking crazy, I got news for you. So, let me see. Get with that. Real quick before I go.
Do not sit here and act like the Cleveland Browns are a part of some sort of negligence or malpractice. Backups are backups. They run with backups. Shaduer did what backup quarterbacks do when they come into a football game. He struggled. Shaduer didn't come into this game and overly impress us, but he wasn't supposed to overly impress.
Sam Acho, you're an idiot. And for somebody that is as intelligent as Sam Acho has portrayed himself to be, that was an idiot take. A very idiotic take.
He came into the game as a backup quarterback that didn't get first team reps all week, all season, all off season, and he struggled. 4 of 16, 47 yards and a pick, 2 sacks. He did what a backup quarterback's supposed to do. Backups don't always get first team reps. Some do, but do not sit here and act like the Cleveland Browns are a part of some sort of negligence or malpractice.
It is negligence. It is malpractice. Some players don't get first team reps because they're new to the team, because everything else has been expelled. You have exhausted all resources. You had to go pull a quarterback out of the ether, and now this dude gets first team reps for like 2.5 days, and now he's supposed to come out and perform miracles. What we're saying is, it is beyond that. He got no reps at all, at no time in the history of his time with the Cleveland Browns. That is malpractice. We're not saying that he should be getting reps every single week with first team, but damn it, you trying to tell me he got no reps with first team at all? Ever? That's BS. Even second string high school quarterbacks get reps. The freshman quarterback gets reps. The JV quarterback gets reps with the senior team every now and again, just to get an experience of how it feels like to be on the varsity team, just to give them a feel of what it feels like to be on the big boy squad. Everybody does it. Don't sit here and act like you haven't played football long enough to know better. Don't give me that crap.
Backups are backups. They run with backups. Shaduer did what backup quarterbacks do when they come into a football game. He struggled. Shaduer didn't come into this game and overly impress us, but he wasn't supposed to overly impress us. He came into the game as a backup quarterback that didn't get first team reps all week, all season, all off season, and he struggled. 4 of 16, 47 yards and a pick, 2 sacks. He did what a backup quarterback's supposed to do. Backups don't always get first team reps. Some do, but do not sit here and act like the Cleveland.
So that's that.
Before Deion came back with the Ravens when he was 37 years old to play quarterback in the NFL, and I believe scored a touchdown. When has Deion Sanders ever sat on a bench in any sport whatsoever?
He hasn't sat on a bench. Shaduer's going to. Sitting on the bench correlates with performance at some of the highest levels in the NFL at quarterback. Sitting on the bench was good for Patrick Mahomes. Sitting on the bench was great for Steve Young. Sitting on the bench was great for Aaron Rodgers. If you are putting yourself on a tier, career-wise, development-wise, on a curve ahead of those guys, it is time to revisit reality.
That's one of the great ironies of Deion Sanders is when he does and does not remember that the rest of us are not like him. 99% of the time, he is omnipresently aware of the fact that he is Deion Sanders and we are not.
So, in all honesty, I will say in all fairness, yes. In all fairness, yes. I'm not sitting there saying that he shouldn't sit behind a quarterback. But who is he sitting behind? I mean, let's be for real. He's not sitting behind Matt Stafford. He's not sitting behind Josh Allen. He's not sitting behind an aging Lamar Jackson. Shoot, he's not even sitting behind an aging Russell Wilson. He's sitting behind Dylan Gabriel. Need I remind you who Dylan Gabriel is? Let's go ahead and remind you who Dylan Gabriel is real fast. Because now I gotta do your boy dirty. Okay? Now I gotta do your boy dirty.
Dylan Gabriel to throw, and there's nobody home. That's going to be a safety.
Your boy threw a safety. Your boy threw a safety. Didn't get sacked in the end zone. Didn't fumble in the end zone. Didn't get bust in his face and lose the ball in the end zone. He threw a safety. Do you want to know how bad throwing a safety is? Throwing a safety is? Let me explain to you how bad throwing a safety is. My middle school football players has never heard of that happening. They watch football. They know football well enough to know what football looks like. And they have never seen somebody throw a safety. Throw a safety. Not get a safety. If Dylan Gabriel got sacked in the end zone in the collapsed pocket and that's what he experienced, I wouldn't have held that against him. I wouldn't have. Definitely wouldn't have. It happens. Shoot. Happened to Cam Newton in his Super Bowl MVP season. Had a safety. Okay? Happens. Happened to Peyton Manning in a Super Bowl. Safety. My point is, you don't throw a safety. You don't throw a safety. He threw a safety. And this is the dude that we're supposed to be turning around and playing behind? Serious? That's who we're supposed to be sitting down and learning the game of college football, learning the game of professional football from. Not Steve McNair, not Randall Cunningham, not Dante Culpepper, not Michael Vick, even Michael Vick, for God's sakes, who never studied his playbook. Even sitting behind him would be better. And I'm talking about early Michael Vick, not late Michael Vick. Late Michael Vick took the game seriously and actually studied. But by then, a little bit of his prime skills was gone. But that's not the point. The point I'm trying to make is that he's not sitting behind world-beating quarterbacks to learn the game from for 1, 2, 3 seasons. Patrick Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith. Alex Smith was no scrub. Check the tape. Alex Smith wasn't a scrub. Shoot, the man came back and played on one leg for, 2 seasons? He wasn't a scrub. So for him to have to, the suggestion that sitting on the bench is what Shaduer needs in order to improve his trajectory because it wasn't beneath Steve Young, who was sitting behind Joe Montana, who you're talking about Aaron Rodgers, who was sitting behind Brett Favre. Despite all of his personal woes right now, as a football player, the man was phenomenal. We're talking about Patrick Mahomes, who sat behind Alex Smith. Tom Brady, who sat behind Drew Bledsoe. We ain't talking about these dudes. Dak Prescott, who sat behind Tony Romo. We're not talking about these dudes. Dylan Gabriel? Serious? You supposed to sit behind Dylan Gabriel? Give me a break. But anyway, I digress. Guys, that's my time. I got to get going because I got a little bit more extra work to do before I take leave for the evening and enjoy the rest of my night. Guys, it's been a pleasure for y'all watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and on TikTok. Have a nice day. Be the best you. Class is Stoutt.